Hi everyone, I'm good. How about you guys?
We are great, and we are even greater now that you're here over coffee. Do you have your cup with you? I've got mine.
Yes, I have here.
Oh, great. I'm matching it with yours, and yours matching with yours. Great. So let's start this discussion. Let's get the conversation going. Like I said, that at a very young age, you have achieved quite a lot. So we would like to know what are your fundamentals of design and decor with flowers, and what has changed, especially pre-pandemic and now.
Actually, in terms of like design and all, since pandemic, we actually because I think the name of the game this time is really to adapt what's going on your surroundings. So since pandemic, we actually evolved from like the big lavish weddings to like smaller and intimate ones. But it doesn't mean that it's intimate and small that the designs will be sacrificed. So we introduced lavish weddings but in a smaller scale. So most of our designs from before that we cannot actually do on a bigger scale events, we adapted it in a smaller events or intimate events. So there's still it only affected the size, but the outburst of creativity is still there.
Yes, I think that's true because even when we were speaking to Robert Char, he said that even the weddings are small, but the attention to detail is so much more because there's no room for error, is it?
Exactly. And we actually we sell experience. It's not just the visual experience, it's everything. Like from the time that our clients entered the room or the venue, it's actually it should be very experiential. So this time of pandemic, since most of our events or our weddings are in a smaller scale, we have to have them feel that it's really worth it attending that event, since it's a small event only.
Very true. Well, Gideon, you are known for your unmatched elegance with flower power. How do you get your inspiration? What makes the flower power of Gideon Hermosa?
Actually, we get a lot of inspirations, especially from our clients themselves. We always on our first meeting, whether online or physical, I always get time to know them, like their love stories or anything about them, like their backgrounds and all, because I get a lot of inspirations from them also, like their personality, their line of work, their love story, their favorites, hobbies, and all of those are we can turn those informations from, let's say, inspiration to their wedding. And it's very very important because it makes the event more personalized. I mean, also I love traveling, so a lot of my inspirations comes from really from traveling, really, because I always learn a lot from different cultures, different beautiful installations around the world. So it's really give me some sort of inspiration. Also, of course, I always check on like the latest trends on fashion, because like I think fashion also set trends, especially for events. So I really get a lot of inspiration from latest fashion shows or fashion brands.
Okay, lovely. That is quite a lot of inspiration that you get yours from. Okay, so Gideon, we know how difficult it is to plan a wedding. There's a lot that goes on. Not many people are aware. There is just a lot of hard work, blood, and sweat. But there are a lot of perks being a top notch wedding planner. So, what are the biggest perks?
Actually, being an event stylist or a wedding planner or being part of a wedding really it really sometimes it really give me goosebumps, because being part of their special day really gives us we are really very grateful, because being part of their once in a lifetime event is really really an honor for us. So I think like with my line of clients, they usually discover us during their wedding, and then later on when they have kids, we also do kiddie parties after that. So all the milestone from the wedding until to every like members of the family, I think being part of those milestones really gives us fuel to create more milestones.
And like you
And
said,
I
that you get
think
to
that's a
travel.
very important that's I think for me is the biggest perk also.
That's lovely to hear. Like they said, that you need to be part of the family to really make it work with the family. And like you said, that you
Right.
get to travel so much and you love traveling.
Right. Yes. I really love traveling. And I wish I can do more travel soon after this pandemic or yeah.
But are you able to have a look around the places that you visit with if you're planning a wedding? Are you able to do some sightseeing?
Well, in Manila, actually during this time of quarantine, there we have like different levels of strictness. So like before the first time of lockdown, of course we cannot really go out of our houses. But then when the safety protocols of the government become more lenient, we were able to get and see and feel the venue. So it's really important that we visit the places. So yeah, so we can get more inspiration, and we really know what to do, especially this time of pandemic. The percentage of our destination events really went high because like in the center of the Philippines, which is or in the capital of the Philippines, like Manila, they're very strict with weddings. So most of our events now usually goes outside Manila because it's less strict.
Hmm.
So since it's a destination wedding, we really have to visit the venue.
Okay, lovely, lovely to hear that. Okay, let's move on to a little different topic. Social media. How has
Mhm.
social media, I see you're laughing and smiling there. So, how has social media helped you reach more people or clients from around the world? Because now it's the new norm and we all know how important it is. Has it helped you immensely?
Actually, having social media is really important. I always said this to my colleagues and all. This time, especially this time of pandemic, you have to be social media active because if you've been, let's say, if your social media have been, let's say, sleeping for a weekend or a week or two, they can everyone can easily forget you. You know what I mean? So it's really important, and social media really helps us increase the brand awareness. So when I remember the first stage of pandemic, I used all my social media platform to actually promote our brand. So that is very important, and I think that strategy helped us to cope up with everything, because like when the government allowed even for simple or small weddings, we were the first one that clients contacted. So, and I think social media has a big role in that part, because we were able to market our brand even there's no weddings. So we've been posting a lot of like past events, and then when we had these small events, we always post it on social media so that people will be educated, or people will learn that, oh, we can do events even in our houses or even in our own places. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if people don't see anything, they won't be informed that these things can do. You know what I mean? Like for example, when we had this let's say gender reveal party 2 weeks ago for a client, so we've done everything online. We sent everyone the gift boxes and all. We had this beautiful backdrop that we conceptualized for them. So when we posted it on social media, we get a lot of inquiries after, because everyone got aware that, oh, we can still do these things, like because milestone can pass by and it's really important. So it really gives us a big advantage. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I think you discover everything through social media. So I even started creating TikTok account during this pandemic. I
Wow.
don't dance, okay. I don't dance, I don't sing, I don't act, but some of my work I feature it on TikTok, and it's really gives us, it really gives us. It's not actually my personality, It's not my personality to dance, to act, things like that. But then I I I um I
Gives it a
I
boost.
had, yeah. So but I used TikTok as additional, marketing strategy for us. So I posted there all my events from, let's say, venue transformation from before and after, and it really works because our clients in the future are this generation, like the Gen Z, who are in TikTok also. So it really gives us a lot of, advantage.
Lovely. I mean, that's so true. Social media is the new norm, and you're really, really good at it when I looked at the profile. So, there is a difference between creating a Gideon Hermosa wedding and creating Insta worthy hashtag Gideonized weddings. What is that about? If you could tell us the process of creating these larger than life Insta worthy weddings, what's the thought process that goes there?
Okay, when you say Gideonized, it's actually an event or an object or a space that being decorated by Gideon, which is me, So being Gideonized, of course, we do a lot of process. So we started like meeting or getting to know each other. I mean, getting to know each other stage. Like we get to know our clients first, of course. What are their requirements? We have to know them basically. Then from those information, we use those information to that we gathered to create a design that is um that will match their personality, that matches what they want also, considering like the logistics, considering the weather here. Of course, that's one of our challenge, considering the venue, if it's an outdoor or indoor, everything. So from there, we present it to the client, like what we came up with. We usually create a mood board first. Then we present it to our client. Then once they approve it, then we start the production. Then from there, we go to the event day to transform the space.
So it's a really well thought of process to create the Gideonized weddings. I can see that. Great. Okay.
Right.
So Gideon, the last question from me. There are a plethora of questions that everybody's been wanting to ask you. We'll go to that later. So from me, I would like to ask you any advice that you want to give to budding wedding designers and planners. Like, what's your secret to success if you want to divulge?
I think the one of the advices that I can give is really in this industry, for me, creativity is really the key. So you really have to be creative. And I suggest don't follow the trends. Instead, you have to set the trends. You know what I mean? In order for you to be on top of your game, you really have to set trends. You have to create beautiful things that people have they've not seen before. You know what I mean? So unique ideas and all, that's really really important. And even if there's pandemic, we really have to be creative. Of course, you really have to. Of course, you really have to believe in yourself, your talent also, because being confident in what you do is really one of the key to become successful in this industry, right? So even if there's a lot of challenges, you really have to maximize what you have. Because like this pandemic really, gives us realization that even if there's stricter or limitations on like the government rules and or our creativity give it's really really important, because even if there's a lot of challenges, um uh we really have to adjust and work.
That's true. That's such great advice that everybody should listen to. Well, thank you so much, Gideon. Those were the questions from my side. And now we open the floor for any questions from the audience. In fact, we already have a few questions. So are you ready for the audience questions, Gideon?
Okay, go.
Okay, here we go. So, somebody asked that please share your tips when handling celebrity and high-end clients. What you should and should not do.
Okay, when we are handling celebrity events or high-end clients, of course, um, like okay, in the Philippines, social media is very popular, and like celebrities here are like if you're a famous celebrity here, you are really famous. You know what I mean? Because like people here or like Filipinos are very into celebrities. Like so, what they usually wear, what they have usually on their weddings and all, these things people or like Filipinos they usually follow. So we are very, very careful when we handle celebrity weddings because or celebrity events um um because our client's privacy is also important. So when this celebrity approach us to do their weddings, of course we don't one thing that you really have to learn, even if you are really excited doing their event, you really don't have to announce everything in social media. You know, it's really nice if there's a lot of like elements of surprise during the event that they will discover that during the wedding, for example. So because like here in the Philippines, we don't have or like having an NDA is not really a popular thing. So I think even if there's no NDA, you really have to keep like details of the event very how do you call it? Very private. Then when handling social media, because you know sometimes I mean when handling celebrity events also, we treat them as a normal client. We don't treat them as like someone who's famous and all, because sometimes they really like that also, that you are not into them. You know what I mean? Because if you really, even if you're really a fan of this famous person, you know, you have to show them your professionalism also, because that's what they usually love you. Also, another thing, when like handling celebrity events, I think you really have to have a good group on how you guys will post the event after, because you really have to use that the social media platform also on how you can maximize having a celebrity wedding to advertise your work. You know what I mean? Because sometimes perfect timing on posting is really important also. Like for example, um that's actually how do you call it? Like when we do celebrity weddings, part of the planning really is how do we post on the event, because we really have to be fair with other suppliers also, because here in the Philippines it's easily for like media to get photos and videos from posted online. So sometimes if you're the first one to post, for example, sometimes your photos are being used in different social media platforms of the news, the show business, and other stuff. So I think planning on how you post the wedding, since it's a celebrity event, it's really important also. And you have to use that you have to make that as advantage for the other people to discover you.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay, now we have just in time for the last question, Gideon. Now that everybody knows that you are a travel enthusiast, somebody asked a question about your favorite place to travel and your favorite destination wedding.
Okay, it's actually hard to choose, because I've been to almost 50 countries around the world. So even if you ask me for my, let's say, top five favorite, it's really hard. But generally, like the place that I've always wanted to visit is I'm a nature lover. So I love places with mountains, water elements, and beautiful landscape. in the surroundings, because I think that makes a perfect destination for a wedding also. You know, if you have the mountain on the background, the lake, or any body of water in the background with lots of trees, I think that's really makes a perfect event. And those places are my favorite place to visit.
Great. Thank you so much, Gideon, for such an amazing and interesting conversation. I think that everybody knows you a little bit better now and how you make things work. So thank you so much for coming on board, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really an honor to become part of this online event.